Hi everybody, welcome back to MAWATZI. Today we are going to be talking about what we thought about the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure ride. It doesn't open officially to the public until the 28th of this month, but we were able to do the preview for this ride, so we're gonna give you a rundown of what we thought and kind of compare it to the previous ride that was there, which was Splash Mountain.
So as we talk about the ride, we're going to be discussing the good and the bad. How does it stack up against Splash Mountain, and also how is it just as a ride on its own?
So that being said, there will definitely be some spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled before you ride the ride, just save this video and watch it after you ride it.
So starting with the line, I would say the line was an overall improvement from Splash Mountain. There wasn't much to go off on in Splash Mountain originally. In the beginning of the line, it immediately immerses you within the ride, and there's a radio that's talking about Tiana's food as if you're really in the movie. And as you go inside, they have a lot of different pictures from the family, and a lot of things that you see in the movie you get to see in the line. So that was a really cool addition.
There was a room with beignets sitting on the table, like her little cooking area, which was super cute. I was like, those things look realistic. I really want some beignets. And then we got beignets after, so very convincing. They even added fans to the line, like little AC units blowing at you while you're walking through the line, which was a great addition because, as you know, summer months in Florida are super hot. So that was a good addition. And they had some paintings on the walls outside that were super beautiful. He touched on the radio briefly. It was kind of playing different songs and they were like, oh, this was by this band. Definitely was very immersive. You felt like you were kind of in the city there. So it was definitely an improvement for the line. I would agree with you as well.
So we're gonna talk about the way the ride looks first, and we'll start with the outside. It's very beautiful on the outside. I know Splash Mountain had the tree on top that was super cool, so at first glance it might be like, okay, what's really that special about it? But there is so much greenery and so many flowers that are added to this ride. And when you take a minute to just look at it and see everything that the Imagineers added in, and I would say that it might actually be an upgrade from the original Splash Mountain.
When you go outside and you look up, you look to the sides, everywhere you look, there's greenery, there's flowers, there's cute characters, there's vegetables. There's so many different things. Thoroughly impressed with how beautiful the scenery was outside and inside, but we will touch on that a little bit later. I think another thing that is really cool on the scenery on the outside that separates it from Splash Mountain is that at night they have different colored lights, like projecting onto what you can see from viewing the ride on the outside. It really is beautiful, like really beautiful.
Now for the scenery inside the ride, this was also really awesome. Once again, I think it is an upgrade from Splash Mountain. I know it's newer stuff and the Imagineers put a lot of time working inside and trying to make everything look as phenomenal as possible. I would almost relate it to Navi River Journey, how immersive it is all around you. You have all the plants, all the creatures completely immersing you from bottom, on the side, on top, everything. It can be a really peaceful, beautiful ride, and then it also becomes more energetic throughout. So overall on the scenery, I think it's a great addition and they really did a good job with that. The new animatronics they added are probably the best in Disney World right now.
The animatronics are a huge upgrade. They're all very new looking. Obviously they're new, but new technology. All the critters are super cute. The Lewis animatronic is super big, very cute. They're all very cute. All the animatronics look very new, very polished, obviously, but new technology as well. Touching a little bit more on kind of scenery and like the immersiveness of it, when you are going up to the top and you see Mama Odie and then you're going like on the little roller coaster. It was really cool because it had like lights going around. It was kind of trippy, but it was super cool. That was a crazy upgrade. I know it's something so minute, it sounds really minute, but it really made it super immersive. I think that was like one of the highlights of the thing, even though it was something so small.
Adding those special effects really immersed you in the ride, as well as some of the screens they had going on. I know this is kind of a cheaper solution and some people don't like screens in rides like they have in Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They did use a good amount, but it honestly seemed to fit in and I thought it was a good touch. During the moment when Mama Odie makes you small and you go through the river as kind of a frog size, I think it was a great touch considering they're not going to make ginormous animatronics of Tiana and Lewis.
Something that I think really adds to rides and makes it even more immersive and more fun is music. Like in Guardians of the Galaxy, if you didn't have that music playing while you were going, it would just take away a whole aspect of that ride and it definitely wouldn't be as fun as it is. Same thing with Splash Mountain, you know, they had the laughing place, the music going on and all that. It really added to the ride and made it more immersive and fun. They definitely picked some good music from the movies and they incorporated it into this ride. I'm not sure if it was the day that we went, if they're gonna touch it up, but the music was definitely pretty quiet, including like the speaking that the animatronics were doing and their voices when they were singing along to the music. It was really quiet. I kind of had to like try hard to hear it at certain points. And I just think that that was the one thing that I was just kind of like, this is like a little iffy. Like the music definitely needs to be louder. It would definitely add to the immersiveness even more and make it more fun and upbeat. Maybe it was just the day. Maybe it was just because it was a preview. They're still touching it up. I'm not quite sure, but they definitely picked great music. And if it was a little bit louder, it would be awesome.
One thing I was looking forward to on the ride was seeing the story of it and what they're gonna do with the characters and where they're gonna use the critters and all that. And I thought they did a really good job. Tiana was searching for the critters to get for a band to play at Tiana's Palace, and I thought it was really cute and it was very fun, energetic, but I feel like there could have been a little bit more dynamics with it. Although I think the ride was good in itself, I think if they had put in Dr. Facilier in the ride, it would have added a whole nother layer on top of the already energetic and fun part of the ride and added a more mysterious, dark kind of tone that would have really been awesome to see. We see almost every single character from Princess and the Frog, but this is one of the only characters we don't see. So maybe having him towards the end of the ride going up the final lift hill, it could have been really cool because the vultures were there on Splash Mountain, and that's when it got dark and the change of pace happened, and that was one of my favorite parts of the ride. So if Dr. Facilier had been there and made it kind of this scary part up until you get over the hill, fall down, and everything's okay, then I thought it would have been a really cool addition if we had seen that. So I feel like it might have been a missed opportunity, but I don't blame them for what they did.
Yeah, for sure. That was one thing that I was kind of disappointed with leaving the ride. And I think maybe the reason they did that is because they did want it to be a completely different dynamic from Splash Mountain. So the rides weren't really the same, just with different characters, which I definitely don't blame them for. But like the missing dynamic did bring it down a whole notch. Obviously, you love super fun rides all the way through, but just from comparing it to Splash Mountain really had that dynamic of being super fun, super upbeat, and then it had that moment of like mysterious, a little bit scary, and then it went back into that fun moment to finish it off. That definitely is what made the ride super great and was my favorite part as well. I think that would make me put Splash Mountain a little bit on top of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which, not gonna dwell on the past. Obviously, they really upgraded in the scenery and the animatronics and everything. And if they up that music, it'll definitely bring it up. That Miss Dynamic makes me almost kind of, you know, miss Splash Mountain, which obviously it's a classic that they've had for years. And I am very impressed with this ride and did really enjoy it, but that's kind of my take on it.
I know a lot of people aren't even wanting to go ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure because they miss Splash Mountain and they think the whole thing was just not a good idea from the start, but I would encourage you to go if you have Disney passes and ride this ride because it is a really great addition. And I know a lot of people have been negative about its pre-release opening with it shutting down and the weather, but it is still before the actual opening date, so they're working things out. So besides the fact that there has been some issues, I think it's a great ride and I'm definitely gonna ride it every single time I go to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great new ride, great addition to the park. All good things, really. Like, obviously, if you do have the pass, I mean, you really should go. It is a great new ride, and we really enjoyed it.
We hope you guys really enjoyed this overview of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and stick around for more videos like this.
And check out our merch if you want to be super swaggy. Here's a Bob hat right here. Our merch store will be linked down below. You should definitely check it out. There's a little discount on there, too.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.